Hello, I am Wang C. Wherever you see my picture, click on video to hear about grammar. Thank you. Hello, I am Wang C. Wherever you see my picture, click on video to hear about grammar. Thank you.
Hello. I just wanted to make you aware of a grammar video that's been posted.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is part 2 of the video that explores the positions of adverbs. A quick reminder of the definition of adverbs. Adverbs are words that modify verbs. So, wherever you find an adverb, ladies and gents, you would have had a verb. The rule of thumb is adverbs will be used where there has been a verb. Okay, so I want to look at adverbs that describe the way in which a verb was performed. We want to call them adverbs of manner. I also want to look at adverbs to tell you the time that an action took place. We also talk about adverbs that tell you where an action was performed. So collectively, I'm going to look at adverbs of manner, time, and place to begin with. Usually they come at the end of a clause. I haven't said sentence here, and if you don't know what a clause means, then I'm going to define a clause as a group of words that might contain a verb. A clause will contain a noun or a pronoun. Now, sometimes clauses stand alone and they make complete sense. We call them main or independent clauses. There are also clauses that don't stand alone and do not make complete sense on their own. We call them dependent clauses. My example would be Emerson sang passionately. Passionately there is the adverb and it comes after the verb. How about if I change the position and put the adverb in what we now know is a pre-modifying position? So how about if I said, passionately, Emerson sang? It makes no sense semantically, does it? Neither does Emerson passionately sang, except you add another clause or phrase. Example, Emerson passionately sang the national anthem in Creole. I'm trying to demonstrate, ladies and gents, that sometimes altering the position of an adverb of manner doesn't work. So, ladies and gents, that was just to demonstrate that sometimes we cannot change the position of an adverb. Quickly touching on adjectives that are used as an adverb by adding an ly, as you can see on the screen. Sometimes we can add an ly to a pre-existing adjective to form an adverb. An example would be the adverb of manner, cold, and then the hyphenated adverb of manner, cold-hearted, and that became an adverb, cold-heartedly. I must insist also at this juncture that some adverbs are designated words. I've had people on here who did not know that words like only and in were adverbs. So yes, a lot of words change their function as parts of speech in English, as you might have noticed. A word might be a noun. When you change the position, it might become a pronoun. You change the position, it might become an adjective. And when you change the position, it might become an adverb. So I have demonstrated that in another video. I want to move on with other adverbs as well. So just to recap quickly, I looked at the positions of adverbs of manner, time, and place. I want to use another adverb, the word only. only Camden attended the Zoom session. That is in the initial position, isn't it? Pre-modifying position. Camden only attended the Zoom session. Still in a middle position, but it's also a pre-modifier because it comes before the verb that is modifying. And when I've done this, I have actually altered the meaning of the clause. In my first example, I said only Camden attended the Zoom session, meaning it was only Camden that came to the Zoom. When I said Camden only attended the Zoom session, I mean that was all he did in comparison with other options like maybe reading his poem. So when you change the position of an adverb, it might render the meaning of a clause totally different. And my third example would be Camden only attended the Zoom session and not the birthday bash. So I'm going to go quiet so you have a read of the examples on the screen. I want you to try and decipher how I've altered the meaning by simply placing my adverb only in different positions. It's quite a hot day here as well today, ladies and gents, where I am. It's about 8 minutes past 11 in the morning, and I have already done my washing. I'm going to sort out dinner in a minute. I want to quickly move on to adverbs of place that go at the end of a clause. So, adverbs of place usually go at the end of a clause. The adverb I'm looking at here is here, Here. Tambor stood here, not here, Tambor stood. Although sometimes you might use this kind of position in a poem. Generally, when we're speaking, we don't say here, Tambor stood. We say Tambor stood here. We might elongate the sentence to Tambor stood here for ages, waiting for the olele. I want to move on to the adverb inside. Inside, crying her eyes out, was Kadiatu, the jilted bride. How about if I change it to crying her eyes out was Kadiatu, the jilted bride, inside? It doesn't make any sense. Certain adverbs like those that indicate a viewpoint, degree, focusing, and those that state an obligation may have fixed positions. I'm going to work with the clause, I am not a millionaire. And I'm going to use the adverb unfortunately. In the initial position, I'm going to say, unfortunately, I am not a millionaire. In the end position, it would read as, I am not a millionaire, unfortunately. The meaning is actually the same, isn't it? Similarly so, can I ring you tomorrow, perhaps? End position. And can I perhaps ring you tomorrow? Pre-verb. It means the same, doesn't it? I'm going to work with a clause, Jacob kissed a she-devil. Jacob ignorantly kissed a she-devil. In my first example, Jacob kissed a she-devil ignorantly. He probably kissed the she-devil, which is just a mystical creature, without knowing who she was. How about in my second example? Jacob ignorantly kissed a she-devil. So Did he do it with some amount of scorn for her? Some amount of disdain? Yeah, did he do it in a manner that was demeaning to the devil? How in my third example, ignorantly, Jacob kissed a she-devil. So it still means without prior knowledge, doesn't it? I think my second example has a different meaning altogether. What do you think? I want to quickly look at how we use two or more adjectives in a sentence. And we have a mnemonic, which I hope is going to come up in a second, which is MPT. It stands for manner, place, and time. Adverbs of manner precede adverbs of time, which then precede adverbs of place. Let's have a look at the screen. The example would be, my Yesso's choristers sang passionately outside last Saturday. So passionately is the adverb of manner. Outside is the adverb of place. Saturday is the adverb of time. I'm going to leave it there for now, ladies and gents.